Please welcome retired filmmaker George Lucas.
PJ's great. That was really fun.
Yeah, what a great guy.
We better get some freaking money though, because
we better get some freaking money.
I poured my dang heart and soul into that.
We better get some freaking money.
I'll say this: we're getting close to the goal. The goal was 8,000, and we are currently at $6,008. I think we can get to 8,000 by the end of the night. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so. I wish I'd pushed that lose yourself a little bit further higher.
Yeah.
Well, pull that spreadsheet back.
Well, hang on. I want to show one more thing
Bring
first.
it back.
Hang on.
Bring it back.
Here you go. You ready?
Bring it back.
I had to choose. Heels. Show it again.
There's another one. I want to see what this one is.
I had to choose. Heels or thick. It was so close to the end. It was like one sentence away from the end of the monologue.
It's so funny. All right, guys, I have another guest. Can we bring in another guest?
What?
That's so good.
You know this guy. You know this guy.
You know this guy.
You know this guy. Now,
you know this guy.
We're going to have to ask him what his character's name was because I had trouble finding it. But you know him from the classic Harrison Ford film, Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues, supersized version. Please welcome Chris Gethard to the show.
Hey.
So, how are you?
The Godfather. The Godfather.
The Kingpin, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. How are you guys?
How are you doing, Chris?
How am I doing? Oh, you know, finding reasons not to fucking,
hey.
You know.
That's why you're here. We're here to cheer you up.
We're here.
This is a reason.
Believe me, all day. I'm like, just make it to 9, baby.
You just found the reason.
I did.
Yes.
All day today. I'm like, you just make it till 9, baby.
Yeah.
George, your beard is so much more
real.
Well, clean and
I try to
look atable.
Tight.
Yeah, it had gotten really unpleasant to look at, but I'm glad.
I wanted to shave it down. I wanted to basically what I was looking to do was try to shave it down to about the length of Groucho's mustache.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
I nailed it. I think
that's what it looks like. Can I say, Gethard, we made a big technical breakthrough here today, realizing how to use Watto's natural skin color as a blue screen.
Yeah,
to do blue screen technology. So Watto is currently representing the New Jersey state flag.
Oh, that's so nice of you. See, I'm actually sitting here filling envelopes with New Jersey is the World membership cards to send out.
Talk about it. What do we got?
Talk about it.
Plug.
Well, now that, first thing I want to say is I have massive respect for the fact that you just plugged a charity helping so many children and adults. So I feel a little bad coming in and plugging right away. But yeah, I started a new podcast called New Jersey is the World, and the people who signed up on the Patreon in the first month got these membership cards. And because I'm a man of the people, here's what I do. I got my little return address stamp. I bought my envelopes from the post office that are pre-stamped. I personally drop this in here. I do this.
Your spit.
You will have my DNA.
Now,
you will have my DNA.
Can we say this? Can we say the name? Can we say the name of the person that this is going to make it even more special?
Yeah, Matt Mafucci.
Matt Mafucci.
Middlesex, New Jersey. He happens to be watching. But yeah, man. There you go. That's it.
Now, what was your character's name in Anchorman 2?
No idea. I don't know either. Don't think I had a name. I just remember Marsden was real nice. That was also, that the Chris Gethard show made it to cable because I was on that set for a day.
Tell the story.
Well, I was like walking around, and Adam McKay, because they were always so kind to me, man. They were really, really kind to me. I first met them because I was a reader at the auditions for the other guys, and then they threw me a little part. So then they brought me back Anchorman 2. And we're on set, and McKay's like, "Hey, man, your public access show is awesome. You still doing it?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, you watch it? He's like, yeah, I haven't watched the full episodes. But he's like, I see you put clips up on Facebook and stuff. And it's like right up my alley. It's what we used to do in the old school with UCB and like those Chicago, like street guerrilla theater shows. I was like, well, dude, that's part of what I've always been going for. Like, it's part of what I inspired by. He's like, who's producing it for you? Is anybody pitching around? I was like, nobody. He's like, can me and Will be producers? I was like, yeah. And then that clearly is why the Fusion Network found room for us in their very busy slate of programming.
I also need to call out good Adam McKay impression.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
There were some nice specifics in that really it rang through. Yes.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the best. Someone's asking if I was in Anchorman 2. I was cut, but then put in the special edition, which happens to me a lot.
The special edition is the best edition.
That happened to me with the Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters relaunch as well. Generally, when it's a special edition, I am the special part.
Yeah.
But that's the whole George theory, is the last version, the most recent version of the movie is the best and the most definitive.
Yeah, truest one. Yeah.
It's embarrassing to be in the theatrical version.
You're the McClunky.
Yeah. You're the McClunky, baby. Chris Gethard, the human McClunky. You add him when the movie's finally finished.
It's a nice little final touch to make the movie perfect.
Yeah, when you've made all the money you're going to make at that box office and you just want that little kick, little extra kick, you bring me in.
Let me make it perfect. Let me drop a human McClunky in here.
Yep.
Now it's perfect.
Did you say make it perfect?
He said perfect.
Make it perfect.
Sounded.
You know, Perfy, New Jersey briefly had a mascot named Perfy, and it's disturbing. It's really, really disturbing.
Patrick, I saw you just jump to the keyboard. Get us a picture of Perfy.
Show us that Perfy.
Well, you got to keep clear. So back in the 80s, let me explain, Patrick, before you do a screen share. So New Jersey briefly tried to make their slogan back in the 80s. They had like a big advertising public relations push, which was New Jersey and you perfect together. And then they briefly tried to extend that perfect together phrase into a character named Perfy.
Mm-hmm.
And Perfy is really wild and fucked up. I think we're only like half a dozen postcards printed with Perfy before they were like, yo, we got to bail on Perfy.
No, I can already tell Perfy is a great character.
Here we go. You say the word and we'll all see Perfy.
Let's see Perfy.
New Jersey is the world, everybody. Let's check out Perfy.
Perfy is Perfy. Oh my goodness. Look at
I have some questions. Right off the bat, my fundamental question is, what is Perfy?
No idea. Is
mammal.
Perfy like a living button?
Like a whale.
Right, that's my question. Is Perfy a sentient button, or is Perfy a creature that has the NJ and U logo permanently etched upon its stomach?
This is a very specific reference, but Perfy to me, my uncle was a drug rep who used to get a bunch of like highlighters or notepads from like specific drug companies that he would give out to doctors. Whatever. This looks like a highlighter that you would get that was like an off-brand drug that you'd only get at Rite Aid. That's what he looks like.
One thing I can say is that if Perfy showed up at a lot of different Jersey Shore towns and he looked like that, he would get the shit beat out of him on the boardwalk if he stayed out past 1 a.m.
That fish looks pretty happy to have been caught, though, I have to say.
George, can I ask, do you think that Perfy, because I know, was it Ralph McQuarrie who did all your character design?
Yeah, a lot of the inspirational stuff, yeah.
Creature design. Do you think that is a creature that could stand shoulder to shoulder with some of Macquarie's work? Like, is that something, could you see Perfy like on the fringes of Jabba's palace, for example?
Absolutely, I could see. You know what? As a matter of fact, I wish I was still in there because I would be adding Perfy into half the scenes in the movie now.
I don't think people would be opposed to paying money to see it in the theater again if you want to.
I think I think if McQuarrie had gotten his mitts on Perfy, I think it would have been extraordinary. I would love to see a Ralph McQuarrie rendering of Perfy because I think you give McQuarrie one pass at that. You say, "This is what I'm looking for." I'd show him that little drawing. Yeah, I think he'd go, "Okay, I see," and he'd come back and he would take it to another place. But there's definitely the raw material for a classic character there because you can tell he means well.
And would you just have would you remove the New Jersey specific imagery on his chest? No, you'd keep it.
No, I just have it stand for something else. Like Newt Gunray.
That's true.
Okay.
Someone's comparing Perfy to Gritty, and I will say, I'm not trying to start any beef with Philly, but we had Perfy back in the day.
Yeah,
I do want to say
Gritty looks like a Perfy who's trying a little too hard, whereas Perfy's just bringing it. Like Perfy just is.
I don't know. Let me just say, Gritty's pretty Perfy in his own right.
He is, but he's definitely like he doesn't have the effortlessness of a Perfy in my mind.
I wonder if there's any place where I can get a Perfy costume made.
Oh boy.
Today.
I mean, I'm
costume
right now
makers.
to see if there's any Perfy.
Wow, Watto, do you wanna bring up the thing you just sent over?
I do. Gethard, I think you might know this person a little bit. A man named Brian Donahue who does a lot of reporting on New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey. NJ12. He's the best.
Right.
He's the
So
best.
he has been online searching for Perfy, answers about Perfy's origin for a year. I found his reporting from just doing a quick Google search for what is Perfy, because I'm very perplexed by what Perfy is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And Brian found a scoop about a year ago that might upset you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Post this tweet. Patrick shared the tweet.
Hang on. I got X'd out. I don't know why.
Also, Perfy, Weird New Jersey, there's a guy named Craig DeGroot, spelled with a Q, and he did a great article on Perfy, and that's kind of how the world remembered him.
Okay, now look at this. My search for New Jersey's...
What's that?
My search for New Jersey's lost mascot, Perfy, has hit a dead end, so I'm reaching out to find Perfy's crab-clawed sibling in Maryland to see if he knows what happened. Now, this crab looks so much like Perfy.
I mean, yeah, they're clearly related. They're clearly related.
They're clearly related.
So is Perfy a clam?
I wonder if Perfy and this
crab
have kissed non-platonically and not known that they're siblings.
The Maryland crab is a crab. Are you saying this means that Perfy's a crab? Perfy doesn't have claws, Patrick.
Perfy no crab.
No, it's like no, because it's just like George would conceive it, right? Like stormtroopers are stormtroopers, but then when they're on Endor riding those little motorcycles, they have adjustments to their helmets. I think for aerodynamics, scout troopers. Yeah. So Maryland, you need claws. Jersey, you don't need claws.
Yeah. Oh.
It's pretty simple.
Morality clause.
Now, I was in Anchorman too, but I actually have a much better Harrison Ford story than this.
Which I did not know until I asked you to come on, not telling you.
No, you clearly, I mean, you clearly booked me to fill time between actual Harrison Ford related guests.
Well,
so that's
I will also say, a few days ago, I said, oh shit, Gethard's in Anchorman 2. We could have him come on.
You could justify this.
Yeah.
So this is probably 20 years ago. I was at 30 Rockefeller Center.
The Rock.
I was waiting for an elevator. The elevator door opens and my jaw drops because Harrison Ford is getting off the elevator. And customarily, obviously, when someone gets to get off an elevator, what do? You get out of the way, off before on. But I just froze because, I mean, you've known me a long time, Patrick, and George, I've always been shy saying it around you, but encyclopedic Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
My whole life. And I'm just looking at this person going, that like, it doesn't compute to me. This is Harrison Ford. I'm going, this is Han Solo. This is Indiana Jones is right in front of me. Like, I recognize this face, and you have that visceral instinctive reaction before the intellectual one. And he gets visibly disturbed, like sort of scared looking. And he pushes past me, like rushes past me and gets out of there. And that's when I remember the reason I was at 30 Rock was because back in the day, a lot of comedians in New York used to get booked to do bits as characters on Conan O'Brien's show. And I was in a sketch that night called The Weakest Clog. And I was dressed in lederhosen and wooden shoes and like a Dutch boy outfit. So Harrison Ford just sees the elevator door opens from his perspective, and he just sees a slack-jawed man in his 20s dressed as a Dutch boy, just like wigging out, looking at him. And he got the fuck out of there, man. He ran that Kessel Run in 4 parsecs,
It's a
which
good.
I know is a measure of distance, not time. But what are you gonna do?
Patrick, you should play a reaction to that story.
Oh yeah, hang on one sec. Let me play a reaction to that.
That's not how I remember it on set.
I don't know if you can find an image of the weakest clog, but it actually also is near and dear to my heart because before that, Jack McBrayer got sick that day. He was supposed to do it, and it was the first. I was like the last minute fill-in. It was the first time I was asked to do something actually like carrying the comedic load, and I was told that Conan complimented my acting, so I've always held that near and dear to my heart. And that's 20 years later. I'm licking envelopes.
Could this be? What is this? July 2002.
That would sound about right.
I found a website called Late Night Archives.
It was part of the satellite, like the
when
satellite
they would
channels.
show cable channels. Yes.
Yeah, it would show like TV stations from all around the world.
The Weakest Clog. Okay, so this aired on July 24th, 2002. The guests were Alan Cumming, Rich Hall, and Robert Evans. You had new foreign TV imports include The Weakest Clog, Arranged Marriage Islands, Slander the Jews Feud, Kilt of Dreams, and then they did a bit called I'm Watching You, Caller.
If you guys find back then, Conan I looked so young. They used to bring me in to play children, like teenagers, because I was only 21. I would have just turned 22 that May. And I used to play high school kids and stuff, so they didn't have to pay like the actual child labor laws for child actors. Like they didn't have to, have like a parent on set or a caretaker, or tutors or whatever. If you find it, I will look so young. People will be shocked.
That was the only thing I could find from it.
I'm trying to find it. In the meantime, while I search for it, Gethard, you said that reminded us all you have an encyclopedic knowledge of stuff.
I did. I mean, I will mention. I will admit that I'm not as on point as I was in my youth.
But
No, me neither.
do you know who the first guest on our marathon about 12 hours ago was?
I did tell you a few days ago, so it is someone that he's already aware of.
It was
A man named Tim Rose
who was
puppeteered 3 different characters. Admiral Akbar.
Was it Cy Snoodles? I was watching the Cy Snoodles segment. I was very impressed.
Yeah,
Snoodles and Crumb.
Crumb.
2 in the Jabba's Palace.
Yeah.
2, and did he voice any of them?
No.
Just operate it. I mean, it's still super impressive.
Because that was also, George, famously, one of your big things is hiring different actors to do the voice and the either bodywork or puppeteering, so you don't have to pay the puppeteers to also be vocal actors. That is something you are famous for, George.
I wish I'd hired you to. I would have considered if you didn't read for Anakin, did you?
Me?
In Phantom Menace.
Well, that was when I still looked young. So yeah, I used to audition a lot.
It would have been great if you could have hired an adult to play a little boy.
I'm surprised you don't remember that because I never got to like the first refusal era, but I did get a call back to play. I know that I was in a room with Jake Lloyd and a number of child actors at one point when I was 19 years old. And it wasn't just the first round.
Is this real or is this a bet?
No, I had a call back to play Anakin Skywalker when I was 19.
Oh, yes, you were 19 in 1999. I forgot about it. The weird thing was that they brought you back in 1999 when the movie had already been shot.
Yeah, when it was done, I never finished. I only finished A New Hope like 2 years ago.
No. We're talking Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
Well, when was it shot?
But you would have been 19 in 1999.
Well, when was it actually shot? 97? Yeah, 17. I was 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like you, Angranano, Jake Lloyd, and that third kid.
Hold on. I got to get more envelopes.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay, wait a second. What was the date on the satellite sketch again?
I believe it was July 24th, I want to say.
Okay.
It's really great. You just order them up right from the post office and they come with the stamps on them. Saves you a lot of time.
Gethard, you were on. We've known each other since more than 5 years because you were on the first UCB show we did of the George Lucas Talk Show, which was only the third show we did. I have to say that you're probably one of the guests that frightens me the most in the sense that, I created all this stuff, but I can't keep all of it in my head. I don't remember all the names of all these droids and things, I'm always sort of more forward looking. I'm focusing on new things and creating new details. But you have a very good memory for the minutia of the Star Wars universe.
A lot of it. Although I'm off my game right now because I'm like
licking the envelopes.
Yeah, I'm like starting to have be poisoned from envelope glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now earlier, I mean, we were going to bring you on. I was very excited the idea of bringing you on because we got into a very deep conversation with J. Lane Marcos.
I heard about my improv coaching.
Improv coaching back in the day, and she specifically named you as one of the people who had coached her in various indie practice groups or combinations.
I coached thousands of people, and I'm so psyched to hear that I was remembered. I hope it was in a positive light.
You were remembered very fondly as we were thinking back to the days of the various places, the Ripley Greers, the Champions, the small rooms that rented out for 2 to 3 hours.
George, did you talk about when you guys were talking about that before? Did you talk about your brief dalliance with being an improv comedian?
Right.
Because I remember that.
Right.
I remember when you came around.
Yeah. Watto and I both, we took 101 and 201 with the Hines brothers. I had Kevin Hines for 101 and Will Hines for 201.
Oh, you did? Yeah. I always knew Watto. I don't know how long you were at UCB or if you just doubled up, but I always thought of you as more of a pit guy.
Absolutely. I was more of a pitison. I was hitting the open mics harder than that day. I was dipping my toes in a couple of different pools, trying to see what really took.
Weren't you? You were one of the 3 hosts of the Awooga Comedy Hour at the Pit, right?
I mean, look, I founded it with these 2 other Jews, and then I sort of just passed it off. And I was like, I don't need to be in a pit basement every Wednesday night at 9:30 for 5 people, one of whom is usually related to one of the 2 hosts.
Yes, just talking about diarrhea almost every week.
Yeah, it just felt like this is a bad scene. I'm gonna get out of this quick. Yeah. But that was a founding member. Yeah.
Yes.
I never performed at the Pit on 24th, which is the venue that just closed, I believe. Yeah. But we did do the 4th George Lucas talk show. The first 2 that we started out, we did 2 test shows at the Producers Club. I thought this would be perfect. I'm a producer. And then we did the Star Wars Day.
PGA, right?
I don't like joining guilds.
I'm PGA.
Great.
Okay, keep it in your pants.
Sure.
And then we did.
Also, by the way, thank you, Gethard, for that.
For PGA?
Yeah.
I've tried to help a lot of people, and if those people don't want to remember it, I guess I'll just sit in New Jersey and dwell on it all day, every day. But you're one of the good ones, Connor.
Well, so the 3rd show for Star Wars.
Gonna move on. Okay.
Our first. I don't want to get too deep into PGA gratitude.
Sure.
We did the Star Wars Day show, and then a month later, our 4th show, we did at the Pit Loft because UCB didn't have a slot for us that month. That I think it was June of that year, and it was a very bad show in a lot of ways.
Oops, I think I called you the wrong name. I apologize, George.
I thought you talked to Cotner.
You're talking to me.
Cotner.
Yeah.
I didn't think I said the wrong name. Anyway, you were saying Pit Loft.
Yeah.
Which is still open.
Open, but we had a very bad technical problem because they couldn't get their DVD player to work, and so none of our filmed clips worked. And then we had a musical guest that took way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a great show.
I think there were like 4 people there, George.
Yeah, almost no one was there.
Was that in the Jar Jar days?
Yeah, that was when Jar Jar was still.
That was Jar Jar.
Yeah,
we had a great lineup. We had Opus Moreski from Colbert, and we had Connor O'Malley doing a character bit. It was part of the reason we decided we were going to pull back on character bits.
That was the thing that people don't know. The early days of George Lucas talk show had a lot of character bits, and then you said, let's cut the characters and just be real.
Yeah, but I think we're leaving out what the name of Connor O'Malley's character was.
It wasn't that he wasn't funny. It was just that it was too destructive to the natural rhythm of the show. He played. We couldn't have Corby Dorby showing up every month, you know?
See, I know that I have a story. Connor O'Malley, who's one of my favorite people to be on stage with, and it's always chaos. When we were a live television show, True TV switched over from Fusion. It's been taped. It's like, okay, we're live again. We got to bring the energy. Let's bring back the Beast Masturbator, which was Connor's character. And the network reviewed it, and they were like, this is a lot for us. we're just gonna make one ask, which is like you can do all the masturbation stuff, go crazy on that. If you could just hold back on all the Jesus stuff, like a lot of our viewers are in the Midwest and it's more religious there. So I went to Connor. I was like, dude, we got this. They're just saying like, if you could just let's lean into like every other aspect of it, but if you can just avoid the Jesus stuff. And he's like, yeah, I got it. First words out of his mouth are like, Jesus drinks nothing but Sprite, like some insane shit like that. I was like, oh, here we go. Day one, first episode, I'm in trouble. And that just defined that was just the beginning of our relationship with True TV.
So silly.
Oh.
So silly. Wow. Gethard, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Let's talk about number one.
Oh, come on.
Gethard, who's
Come
number
on.
one? Kit?
Come
We're
on.
talking Kit?
Kit Fisto, baby. The
Listen,
guy who the
listen.
whole story's about.
I know. Listen.
No, I actually have come to realize that all of Star Wars revolves kind of around Nien Nunb. It is his story as much as anyone else's. He appears in more battles, and also the fact that Poe Dameron was given a leadership position when Nien Nunb had been there. I mean, he was Lando's co-pilot at Endor, and he's still present. And after all these years, this new guy who I've gone on record and also said was a mutineer who should have been killed and murdered, and he led.
You talking about this guy?
I can't see what that is. Just a lot of reflection. Babu Frick.
You talking about Babu Frick?
Listen, I love Babu, but I love Nien Nunb more. And yeah, I think Kit Fisto. I think in many ways this whole series is about Kit Fisto.
Well,
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Give me that Fisto.
now, who's your favorite in the Indiana Jones series? Not a Jones family member. Who's your favorite character in the Indiana Jones series who isn't a Jones? So no Mutt. Can't name Mutt. Can't name Henry Jones Sr. Henry
Sean
Jones
Connery. Probably that old knight who crumbles into dust.
He chose poorly.
The Templar Knight.
Yeah.
The
That guy
Grail
who-
Knight.
That guy who was in that canyon for like 2,000 years. And then Indiana Jones shows up, and 18 minutes later, everything, a giant earthquake destroys his 2,000-year-old home, and he's just standing on the edge of the other one, like,
Yeah.
man.
Can we get that that meme of that little doggy sitting in the house on fire saying fine, everything is fine? Can we get him replaced with the old knight?
Yeah.
Can I also tell you, I almost said Short Round and then was like, 2021, I can't say that Short Round is my favorite anymore. Can't be saying Short Round at this
We
point.
tried so hard to get Short Round on this marathon.
Is that true?
Really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not into it.
I
Is he
did
still
get-
working?
He does a lot of conventions. I don't know if he's acting a lot. Let's see.
Yeah.
You probably know this, but
That's why you'll notice conspicuously none of us are holding on to our potatoes today.
None of us. We let our potatoes go.
he pops up in a couple of things, but he really stopped around 92-ish. And then there's been a few things since then.
He's got some killer lines, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Indie, cover your heart.
Listen,
No time
We-
for love, Dr. Jones.
we
was
had
that?
we had Walter Donovan earlier, the villain from the third movie, and he loved Watto.
He loved
Wait.
Watto.
He liked Watto.
Yeah,
He
he
liked
loved from Last Crusade.
From Last Crusade.
The man who
Oh, Walter Donovan.
The man who chooses
Yeah, the
poorly.
guy who chose poorly, and then he does like,
Yeah, I made
and then it turns into like a very low budge Tim Burton moment.
What happens to him?
Mhm.
But it ended up looking more like Rick from Rick and Morty.
Yes, it did.
Mhm.
I only made this in about 2 minutes, though, so it's a fast sculpture.
So wait, someone's saying that at San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago, they held a war trial panel about Poe Dameron. I wish I was there. I would have been a prosecutor.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
I'm
talk
surprised
about
you
that.
didn't run that thing. I'm surprised you
wanna
weren't
talk
judge,
about that.
jury, and
Tie him to a
executioner.
tree. Tie him to a tree and
don't wanna-
behead him on television.
I don't wanna talk
You know,
about
George Washington used to do
We
that.
gotta mute
At Jo-
him. Should we just mute him?
Yeah, probably.
I think we gotta mute him. I
I'm trying so hard to find this clog sketch. You have no idea.
can't let this
I'm
go.
just digging through.
I believe we have to.
You have to do your M&M's rap. We're gonna let Gethard keep ranting while you're doing your M&M's rap, though. Yeah, he's still going. You like to think that he doesn't know that he's muted. George, you gotta turn that down.
You turn it down.
I can't.
All right. So just so you understand the context of this.
Hang on.
All
About
right.
leaving because you signed up for this. You're
It's starting. All right. So this is an Eminem's version of Eminem's Lose Yourself. Look, if you had...
better than copyrighted music.
Oh, no.
Baby.
Come on. Jesus Christ. Connor?
What?
That was the song. That was the song. It has
That was the song.
Build up.
Why are you saying that to me? That was Gethard.
But you're the producer of this show, Patrick.
You're the producer.
Your performers. I now maybe won't do the song.
He maybe won't because you
Do
failed
it,
him as
George.
a producer.
I didn't do anything.
You failed him. When you're the producer, if something goes wrong, it's your fault.
Why did I get muted that time?
I blame Patrick.
Yeah, me too. He did it
Patrick,
did
why
it.
don't you explain to our guests what?
because
you
I
did?
called out that it was copyrighted music.
I just wanted to see if you were still ranting mostly. George, sing your song.
Too late.
No, you have to. People gave money, George.
Yeah, and now it's on you. Look what you did. You betrayed all those people who gave money to charity. They didn't get their charity. That's
George,
fraud, Patrick.
George, sing.
We're gonna
Sing your
prison for this,
sing your
Patrick.
song, George.
I can't. I already blew past the intro.
Start again.
George,
But now I'm gun shy.
George, you know what happens when people don't keep their debts?
What
They wind
happened?
up frozen in carbonite and a decoration on Jabba's goddamn wall.
It's a story as old as time.
Really more, circa 1983, 4.
Look, if you had one chocolate or one chocolatunity to eat every treat you ever wanted in one moment, would you let it melt in your mouth and not in your hand? Yo, his palms are white gloves, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his candy coating already. Mars confectionery. He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks delicious and ready to eat. Wow. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. A lowercase m on his front. He opens his mouth, but the nuts won't fall out. Hold on. He's crunching now. Hold on. Hold on. Let me back it up. I haven't rehearsed this in years, so. He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks delicious and ready to eat. Wow. But he's forgetting what he wrote down. A lowercase m on his front. He opens his mouth, but the nuts just won't come out. He's crunching now. Everybody's munching now. The clock's run out. Time's up. That's our blouse snack. Back to reality. Oh, he's 5 calories. Oh, there goes red. Yeah, he choked. He's so mad, but he won't give up that flavor. No, he won't have it. He knows his whole bag's never closed. He's so crispy. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. His shell's cracked now. He knows when he goes back to his dispenser, that's when it's back to the lab again. Yo, this whole galaxy, he better go blow up the Death Star or something. You better chew your shell. It's candy, it's coated. You hold it. You better never let it go. You
Go.
eat one chocolate. Do not miss your chance to use the Force. This opportunity. George Lucas talk show. You better chew your shell. It's candy, it's coated. You hold it. You better never let it go. You only get one chocolate. Do not miss your chance to use the Force. This opportunity. George Lucas talk show. And that was it. That was the song.
That was
Wow.
really quite good.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't rapped in a long time. It's hard. I like the Darth Sidious hood you've got on now.
I put it up like Eminem.
Like
style.
Eminem, who borrowed it from Darth Sidious.
Mm-hmm.
He did, yeah.
Who borrowed it from the Emperor because that's who Darth Sidious was. That was a big plot twist.
Huge reveal. Huge reveal.
Who's
Come on,
this
yeah.
guy who sort of looks like the Emperor, but you can't quite see him?
Oh wow, Mr. Elephants in the chat is calling you Palpagath.
Ooh.
It's like Papagath.
Uh-huh.
So we're at 6828. We need to get to. I want to get to 8,000. That is our goal tonight. $8,000. We're real close. I think we can do it.
What can I add? What can I do? What kind of stretch goal can I do
What do you think?
to make this happen, Patrick?
What do you think?
I don't know. Also, Watto, I sent you a link to that Fizzy Boys. I don't know how I don't know if you had a chance to listen.
Oh, he's good. The Fizzy Boys are good.
You're one of the prime fizzy toddlers out there.
I am a toddler now. I'm not even a fizzy baby. I'm a toddler. Patrick, can you send me the link, that archive website you found with the information from the Conan episode? I'm working really hard to find this sketch right now.
Watto, it's in the private chat, Watto.
I know you typed in. Oh! I see it. There are a lot of people who have archived a lot of Conan sketches. I think I'm gonna find this before you have to leave. Yeah,
Please.
Can't really show it, but okay.
I bet you could show
a still image.
We could show a still.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a still, motherfucker.
What could Gethard do as a stretch goal? Let's think about this, because we got about 20 minutes or so. Let's think of what we could do in the next 20 minutes, or whenever Gethard needs to leave. I don't want to.
I'm happy to hang out all night. I need to hide in something. I'm having a really bad time lately, and any distraction that keeps me out of the Greystone Mental Hospital is welcome. Thank you so much. That's the nearest one to my new home.
Here's the thing I'll say, Gethard.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is what's ailing you. We don't need to get anything into that is too personal. I know you're a man who does not like oversharing things in public sphere.
Keep it real close to the vest.
You're a locked up guy. But I will say, I feel like Watto has been very surprised by how much being this close to the 1-year anniversary of lockdown is fucking hitting him like a ton of bricks. To be commemorating a year of a thing that we did not want to believe could even last half this long, and to not have a clear end in sight is pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought of a stretch goal that if there's regular viewers of Planet Scum on this, and I know that there's a lot of people that just follow the George Lucas Talks show, but I do the Wednesday night show on Planet Scum.
Yeah.
There's a thing where we have a box. Actually, it's up to 2 boxes. It started with 1 item. Due to all of our stretch goals, there's now 15 items total. 5 have been discovered. If we can raise enough money.
One by this guy right here.
Yeah, one remarkably and accidentally. Which one did you guess, Patrick?
The rubber band ball, I think.
The rubber band ball in Christie's box. But the box happens to be sitting right next to me. And I feel like we could put out a major clue. And this is a contest, by the way, that whoever guesses all the items in the box will, at this point, will win over $1,900. So what can we do here, people?
I think oh man.
I have a great clue too. I have a great clue. I'll give a huge clue. I'll give a huge clue, actually.
A huge clue.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, man.
Okay.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, so what if we did this? What if the next person to donate $100, Gethard will privately give that clue to?
100?
Yeah, we're 12 hours into this, 13 hours into this.
That's it?
That's low. You're lowballing.
But I'm just saying we want to get this. We want to
Patrick, there's no point even holding on to a potato that small.
Okay, you guys come up
with a tiny potato.
You guys come up with the number then.
500.
It's not going to happen. That's the thing.
It will happen. It will happen.
And if it doesn't, and guess what?
Help people.
And Patrick, guess what? And if it doesn't happen, they don't get the big clue.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, I understand what you're saying. You're saying if we raise $500, you'll give the clue.
Yes.
I thought you were saying if one person donated $500.
Oh,
Patrick, bring up this spreadsheet. Bring up this spreadsheet. Let's find a good number to get to. Let's get to 7,000.
I think
7,500. Let's get to
75. Let's get to 75.
If we get to 7,500 before. Yeah. Wow. So wait, that would be over $1,000. That would be $1,250.
It'd be under. It would be under.
Where are we at? Oh, 6,800.
We're 6,800. That would be. We're 6,800. And Patrick, to motivate people, let's move the mosquito toast up to 7,000.
If we get up to 7,500, I will reveal a massive clue about one of the items in there that everyone has been severely off base with all of their guesses.
Wow.
There's no room to put this on the spreadsheet, but if we can get to 69,
Wait, let's call this.
And let's say this.
one.
How
Hang
about
on.
this?
We're calling 7,500 the Clugitive.
yeah, that's good.
Clugitive.
How about this? If we get to 8,000 before I leave, I'll straight up reveal an item.
Whoa.
Great.
Wow.
That's doable. And at 6,900, I'm going to show something that I hope will cheer Gethard up just a little bit because he likes the Mandalorian. And
I've been watching Clone Wars too. It's great, George.
And this is something that it's not a new thing. Longtime viewers of the show may have seen this, but I still think even if you've seen it before, it's just a fun little thing. And
well, George, get ready to show because we're at
right.
69.78.
Okay. You like Baby Yoda and you like Mando?
Multiple members of the board, of the Discord board, are mad at me that I'm doing this, but I'm a fucking renegade and I've been living on the edge the past few days. So I'm going to go off.
And it's for charity. And last I checked, Patrick's on the board. Watto's on the board. George is on the board.
Hang on, let's vote on it. Let's vote on it.
All in favor of
Yes, I can vote too.
No, you're out, Dave. You're out.
And Dave, you're in the fucking beef pudding. You don't hang out here.
Right.
But we also have King Patrick Day and Kuro, whose name I can never pronounce, board members who are in here right now.
But
I vote aye.
No. We're all saying aye.
We're all saying
I vote aye. Jess votes aye.
Yeah.
That's our representative for the Planet Scum team. Patrick Day, what do you vote?
Kurtikuru says aye.
I think an inactive member of the board who I think should be put back into. Patrick Day votes aye. So no, this is official.
We got it.
We get to $8,000. I will reveal. Okay, that 7,500 one. I'll give a clue about a thing they've been off on. If we get to $8,000, I will straight up reveal an item that there have been zero guesses even close to what it is.
Okay, we are at 7,000, guys. We have hit 7,000. Let's
go make some toast.
Listen, it's not going to be both. We're going to see when I leave where it's at.
Oh, okay. Deal.
So if it hits 7,500, we're going to keep going. And then if it hits 8, so you know what I mean?
Deal. All right. Gethard, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
Gethard, you know these guys, right?
Yeah, I love them.
But I bet you don't know everything about them, right?
Not everything.
As characters?
Probably not. There's probably minutia that I don't know.
You want to see a reveal?
Yeah. What? Are they lollipops inside?
They're lollipops inside. That's some season 3 shit. I'm in the room. I'm pitching it.
I just remembered something really huge that's just developed over the past couple days. It's a really heartwarming story that I think you'll love, George.
I love heartwarming stories.
So you might know, George. I don't know if you know this. I have a son who's about to turn 2.
Yeah, I know that. He's cute. I follow you on Insta.
He's the best. He's like
he likes to put on Mr. Potato Head glasses.
He does. He sometimes puts on Mr. Potato Head glasses.
Very cute.
He's the best. And that's not a stage thing that I do. He gets them himself. But listen, all kids, sometimes they're not the best about eating, right? They give you a pain in the ass time.
Yeah.
So what we do is we set up a second high chair. This is true. This has just been happening the past 2-3 days, maybe. We set up a second high chair. We put his Grogu doll in the second high chair, and we feed Grogu, and then he will eat if Grogu's eating. That's true.
That's really cute.
It's true.
We are currently at $7,415.
People about to get a clue. We'll see if they get a reveal.
People about to get a clue. I bet we can get to a reveal. I bet we can get there.
I know we can.
And you know what else I love about this? There's people meticulously tracking everything about the box.
Yeah.
And
they're not going to watch tonight.
They're not going to have this info. And there's some Planet Scum Live fans in this who are going to have a leg up on these items.
That's what we always say. Watch every show on Planet Scum. If you you're going to miss the clues. Guess what? It's free.
Let's plug some Planet Scum shows because I feel like there's a lot that. Yeah, Gethard, let's go through this lineup. Mondays, we got Martin,
who I think is going to take a hiatus soon, but that show is great.
It is very fun. Tuesdays, we got Mary.
Oh, drawing with Mary Houlihan.
So people know.
It's Painting Party with Mary, I believe.
Party with Mary, I believe.
Mary Houlihan has guests on, and they have cams on their faces, then overhead cams on what they draw, and it's very pleasant and very relaxing.
Mary painted me a painting on her show this week. I asked her to paint one, and I commissioned it.
Oh, very nice.
It's a picture of Lost season 1 on DVD.
Oh, very cool.
Wednesday. What do we got Wednesday?
That's Planet Scum Live, where you can win almost $2,000 if you guess 15 items spread between 2 boxes.
Yeah.
But not this week.
Not this week because Judge Millie.
Yes.
We have our own judge show. You know, we got a painting show like Bob Ross. We got an advice show on Thursdays. We got a game show on Mondays, and we do have our own judge show. It's Judge Millie. She's really, really funny. And that show, they put like a ton of work into that show, and it's really good. It's not thrown together bullshit like mine is.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, just a normal talk show.
No, but we're missing.
Sunday is our talk show.
Sunday's a talk show, but Saturday's Riley.
Googie Mornings, which is like an experimental art piece, as you would expect with Riley Soliner. And then also Robbie Hoffman Thursdays.
Robbie on Thursday.
Genuinely very, very good advice.
Yeah. But they're all good. People should be checking them out because people put in a lot of work. And they're all very talented people. Yeah, a lot of good stuff in Planet Scum. People should be watching. I mean, we're getting close on this number.
Okay.
We're getting close. We need some more donations though, because right now we are at 7,500. So you guys will at least be getting the clue.
Wow.
But if we can raise $447 more dollars.
And how about we say this? If we get to 85, I give the clue on the one item and reveal another.
Okay.
And I know that's a reach that probably won't happen, but
I'm going to say clue and full item. You're giving a full item and then a second clue.
either a clue or full item based on if it hits $8,000 and if it's 8,500, both.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that sound?
I think that's pretty good.
I'm very generous.
How much more time?
I'm very generous, and sometimes I feel like I shouldn't because you open yourself up to getting burned by people who you think have your back for life.
Are you talking about Watto? You're only saying because he's not here?
Listen, I've done a lot for Watto. Watto's done a lot for me, but it seems like now that, maybe Watto, never mind.
I mean, he's not here. If you want to talk about it, now's the time.
Look, I think you guys know that Watto was a PA on the Gethard show for years during a downtime when Watto needed some help. And now you guys got this hot show.
Yeah.
All these people watching it. And sometimes I feel like Watto big times me. And I don't need anybody to, I'm not like saying you have to put me on a pedestal. I'm just saying, let's remember that we help each other out. And that's part of a community thing. And, I helped you when you were down and out. And now I'm in a phase where I'm a little down and out, and maybe I just expect better from some people. And yes, Watto is among those people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Everybody has cold streaks, baby. I'll bounce back, and I'll get revenge.
Wow.
But
just on Watto.
No, on a lot of people, actually. On a lot of people. Revenge is a fantastic motivator. Ask Sharpling. Sharpling's another Jersey guy in the chat.
Listen, Sharpling's talking a lot of shit in the chat because you know what, Gethard?
What?
You know who's going to be on Double Threat tomorrow?
Huh.
The little boys from the George Lucas Talk Show are going to be showing up on Double Threat tomorrow.
Look at that. And that's the thing about Watto, right? Because, look, my show got canceled. My Q rating's way down.
Yeah.
I'm not on Double Threat, and that's fine. I'm not begging to be on Double Threat. But I know Watto's gonna send me a text. Hey, like, you've done a lot of stuff with Sharpling before. Any tips on navigating his curmudgeonly persona? But it's gonna be him. That's gonna be his way of poking me, going, I get booked on Double Threat. Yeah. You don't get booked on Double Threat. I think I was actually on the first
Sharpling is saying you were on it already.
I was on it already. What
did you do on it? I'm trying to remember.
I did a thing with one of those people from that reality. That's why it was.
With McMillions lady.
Yeah, from that lady who was just disconnected from reality.
Yes.
And it was super fun. And I apologize, Tom. I'm just saying I haven't been booked again. And Watto's going to rub it in my fucking face.
I'll say this. The curmudgeon scale is off the charts for Tom tomorrow. When people hear this episode.
Oh, I thought you were recording it tomorrow.
No, we recorded it yesterday.
Dude, is there any better curmudgeon on planet Earth than Tom Sharpling? I say no.
Yeah.
I say no. There's nothing funnier than Sharpling when he's got a bug up his ass. No one funnier in the entire world, I believe, than when Sharpling's PO'd.
We are at 7769 right now.
Hey guys, sorry I've been gone for so long. I get that. I apologize if I've been a little low energy since you came on. It's just we were on the double threat yesterday. We were really fucking funny. We scored a lot of big laughs. So
I
I'm
was
just
on
a little.
episode 4, so I
But
remember,
it's kind of the show's really hitting its peak now with these most recent episodes. So I'm just a little burnt out. I
I
apologize.
get it. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, like I just know that I was on in the early days helping to maybe like help those guys lay the foundation a little bit. But I'm glad to hear you're on it, Watto. It's
Yeah, well, that's
But hang on, you were on the first episode, Gethard?
No, episode 4.
Yeah, that's the first one that came out.
It's the first one that came out, right?
Episode 4 was the first one that came out.
That's how you tell a story. The 4th episode comes first.
Oh,
then
yes,
5,
yes.
then 6, then 1, then 2. Then.
Yes, I was on Double Threat and New Hope. Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay.
Yeah. I only have 2 of these left. That's amazing.
Hey, Gethard,
I leaked 280 envelopes myself over the past 2 days.
Wow.
Gethard, I want you to really focus on those last 2 envelopes. Let's just take you off the screen for one moment. And then
sure.
we'll come back after the envelope.
Hey, Watto.
Can I talk to you about something?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been failing Gethard. That's a friend. And he's been very open this episode about the fact that he's struggling, that he seems to be going through a bit of a tough time. And I want to reach out to helping hand.
Okay.
Do I have your guys' permission to do something special for Gethard?
Yeah, you do whatever you want. Can I bring him back in?
Yeah.
Before we bring him back in, I want to say we're just over $200 away from hitting 8,000. I think we can do it during this. You got about 6 minutes. You got about 6 minutes. And that number that's in there is not the full number because people have also been PayPaling us money, which is not what I want. I don't want you to keep doing that. But I appreciate it. Hey, Gethard.
Hey, Geth.
Oh, hey.
How those last 2 envelopes go?
Just thinking about my secrets. Yeah, I'm on the last one.
Oh, cool. You're gonna have a lot of free time on your hands after that last envelope, right?
More free time than I had before them. Yeah.
Yeah, and things have been a little rough recently, right? I mean, I feel like we're all
I've been
struggling these days.
Yeah. So this makes me feel good. I'm going to send one to a guy named Brian Kidwell.
Well, buddy, I want you to know, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes, I'm always listening and I'm thinking about you, and I can tell you're struggling. So I want to offer you the chance to be a PA on the George Lucas Talk Show. I know that you did. You extended the same offer to me when I was on Tough Times, and we're kind of a big deal here on Planet Scum. So offers like this don't come around very often. I know you don't necessarily have the CV for the role, but we're buddies from way back. So I really think.
I mean, I remember you were trying to decide, should I go all in on acting or should I go all in on junk sales? Because I'm kind of like half-assing both.
Yeah, the slave market kind of dried up. So I was in a little bit of a intermediate stage. But I don't know if you want a PA, just want to be a gopher for us. Digital PA, it means getting a lot of links. Like sometimes we want to put something on screen, we don't have the link, and we go like.
So, like for example, I'd have to track down a still image of me just as a Dutch boy.
Yeah, because right now I'm doing it. And it's just like that sucks. Like I shouldn't have to do that. It's a fucking drag. And that way, I'm no longer funny on the show, and that's what everyone tunes in for.
And can I ask what the salary is like?
Oh, it's unpaid. It's unpaid. It's
You might we might be able to, if people donate, because normally there's a button down below that says support the show, and we'll get donations through that.
This truly is a UCB show.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing.
Hey man, talk to the boss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to the boss.
Yeah, talk to the kingpin, baby.
No, I want to be clear. I do pay the people involved in my show.
If Gethard, if you decide you do want to be a PA, it won't have a salary as such, but you will be compensated in under the table Grow Gizmo shirts.
Oh yes,
which
black market Grow Gizmo shirts.
Are there copies of those that exist and haven't been distributed yet?
Maybe.
Let's
just say hypothetically there was a big box of Grow Gizmo shirts, an order that got in just under the wire that may arrive sometime in the next couple of weeks. And could then perhaps be auctioned off in a future charity fundraiser.
Hypothetically, someone may have bought 20 before they went away.
Hypothetically.
About 20 of your own shirts.
Pathetic.
Hypothetically.
Watto? Watto, you bought?
Watto knows
And he comes
when junk has potential to go up in value, he buys it in bulk.
You're like it's like
Hypothetically,
it's
I
like
might
the
have bought
GameStop
them.
of shirts. It's like the GameStop.
Exactly. I might have bought multiples in every size in both colors.
Well, listen.
While a bunch of people on Reddit were busy buying up GameStop, Watto had the market all to himself to clean up on Grow Gizmo shirts before the Bugs Bunny hammer came down.
I do want to say, George, we are
Wow,
less than $201 away.
If we get the 85, you get both. You get a big clue and a reveal.
yes, I have to say, if it makes me feel any better, this is a seismic leap in donations. I can't remember the last time on any marathon one guest has turbocharged the donations this month.
That's nice.
Yes.
Listen, regarding your offer, you know, it is like I had an HBO special. I'm the author of 3 books.
You were on The Office.
Trilogy.
On The Office, Parks and Recreation, Broad City, a number of movies.
Beautiful Anonymous.
The Beautiful Anonymous project, you know, it's just featured on the front page of CNN.com and shouted out in the New York Times.
Fusion.
I've been on the Fusion Network, which is not Fuse.
Yeah.
I did all that before I was 40, but the last year has filled me with a lot of self-doubt.
Look at these guys.
A lot of people that I used to consider like real artistic allies have kind of publicly slammed me.
Yeah.
The work's not coming in like it used to. So, you know, I got a kid to feed and I got a mortgage to pay. So I feel like I should say yes to your kind offer, because at the very least it'll give me like my resume. Maybe the next show that Sharpling's writing for, like I can apply to be a PA and then I'll have experience here and he can maybe help grease the wheels on that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely been circling the George Lucas talk show staff like a vulture. You know, he's using us as an incubator for talent. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Gethard, it's 10 p.m.
I also should mention that I have the 4th most popular show on the Twitch platform I founded.
Right, but you know, that's the point is this is the George Lucas talk show. It's a step up.
Yeah. Martin, Robbie's, and your show all frequently out to me numbers wise.
Now, Gethard, I think it's time. I think we're just going to get the clue. I think it's the big old clue.
Too bad.
Only the clue?
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm getting kicked off? You got another guest coming on?
People, a 5-minute extension. Should we say you have 5 minutes?
300 seconds.
Now, Gethard, you can hang out. I have another guest I'm going to bring in, but if you want to hang out, you can hang out.
Hold on, because I don't know if this guest knows that we actually have a mutual friend who is closer to me than you would
oh, wow.
You would ever imagine.
I think I do know this, and I think maybe we should just bring the guest on now.
Okay, I'll bring on the guest now. Guys,
it's amazing you have this person. This is fucking cool.
It's a cool.
It's a cool booking. Cool. It's a cool ass booking coming up.
Super cool.
Yes, Watto, can you bring off your New Jersey? We're doing it real. We're doing a cool guest. Here we go, guys.
Yeah, because he wants the screen grab of this guest, and he didn't give a shit about a screen grab.
Now, guys, you know our next guest for the purpose of this stream. You know him as Buck from Call of the Wild, but you also know him as so many other things we're going to talk about. Please welcome Terry to the stream.
Hey guys, how are you?
How are you, Terry?
Cool.
How is everybody?
Hello, Terry.
Gethard, what is your connection? I want to know about this.
Well, Terry, I don't know if you know, I'm married to Hallie Bullitt, who has done a ton of stuff with Brooke.
Oh my God, no way. That's so cool.
My wife was in like De La Guardia and Fuerza Bruta, so knows that whole crew.
No way.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah. So every time we see a movie,
I love that show so much. Oh my God, that was the awesome show. That was so cool in New York. Just this amazing. If anyone knows about Fuerza Bruta, it was this super cool aerial acrobatic dance, theatrical, special effects, like just beyond, with the whole screen and the top and the water. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
So every time we see a movie with mocap, we wait through the credits to see if it was you. And my wife's like, yes.
That's cool. Nice. Nice.
Terry, thank you for coming on. This is
Yeah.
super awesome.
Yeah, great.
I mean, the thing, we've been talking about Harrison Ford all day. We've been raising a bunch of money. Right now, we're almost at $8,000, which is good, but I'm confident that we're gonna be able to push past that. So let's talk about Call of the Wild, because it's fun and you have a very cool role in that movie.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. It was, you know, working with Harrison was just, it was later in the film, you know, that I got to start working with him, and it felt like three movies at one, you know, kind of like the whole progression of Buck was like, you know, I get to work with this family, and then I got to be captive on this ship, and then I got to work with Harrison once I got off the ship, and it was like
Terry, I'm just gonna stop you for 1 second. I love the stories you're telling. It would be great if we had some images to accompany them. Gethard, can you go get some Call of the Wild screen grabs?
Gethard's our new PA here, Terry. That's what we decided on.
Yeah, I just want to be able to help your stories, give them visual aids. So Gethard's going to go get those. Go on, Terry. Sorry.
Nice. Awesome. Good. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just great. I mean, he's just a cool dude, basically. Flat out the dude, right?
Yeah.
Just seasoned pro, like the dad on set, basically, who just kind of just sets the tone.
Yeah.
And you just kind of flow with the go with him. He's just not in a hurry, knows his shit, and delivers on a level that is just like, kind of makes you go, wow, this is how we make movies. Okay.
Yeah.
This is good. You know,
How long was the shoot? How long was the shoot for that? Because you're in almost every scene of that movie, if not every scene.
Yeah, we shot. Well, I trained for about a month, and then shot for 3 months. So we were, you know, it was about a 4-month thing. Yeah, and about a month and a half with him, just one-on-one, which was really cool. We got to know each other really, really well, and got to become friends. And I just wanted to just be, you know, like a dog, you know, just listen and watch and see him on a level that was like, you know, like your dog looks at you. And it was kind of fun to just be a good listener and not have to, you know, do anything else but just respond and react and give him back the little kicks that he needed to keep the energy kind of reciprocating, you know. It was cool.
I'm just going to pause you for 1 second there, Terry. Gethard, what is this?
I put a link up to a
no,
Washington
you put up a link to a Washington Post story that has a photo of Terry and Harrison on the red carpet at the premiere together. Why send me the link to the story? Just send me the photo. You're adding an intermediate step. Why do we have a PA if you're adding an intermediary step? Just send the direct link. Right-click, copy image address, paste into private chat. This is why we hired you. I'm so sorry, Terry. This is embarrassing.
I like it.
He's new. On it. He's very new. He's green.
You're gonna make a great first AD one day.
Those are the guys who really run things a lot of times.
Yeah. Can you be my personal assistant on the next show?
Watto.
Well, I mean,
I feel like this is already paying dividends.
Yeah, I'm trying to build Gethard up so he'd be ready.
I would actually legitimately love that, because what you do is really cool, and I'd love to know more about how it works. So yeah, I would love.
So when you're going in to go play a dog, are you watching real dogs? Are you watching a lot of videos of dogs? What is your process to get into that dog brain?
You know, I watched my own dogs. We have 2 dogs, Gizmo and Georgia, and one is a Havanese. Gizmo is a little thinker, so he just like looks in your soul, and Georgia's just a dumb dog, you know. She just wagging it out. So it was kind of like a balance between those two, you know. As Buck was growing up, he was just this big, goofy, loose, just puppy, and as the show progressed, it was kind of like, you know, he gets beaten down, his spirit gets broken, and then it gets rebuilt, and he becomes this, you know, the leader of the pack, and finds himself and finds the freedom that he needs, and helps, you know, Harrison find his own freedom in the same time. So
Yeah.
that was kind of the story and the gist of the whole deal, which was my kind of, you know, fuel in the film. And just trying to, playing it, I tried to play it as emotionally real as possible as I could with as a dog, just because they're so smart and they have facial expressions and they read people and they see everything. They see the whole energy of the person. They don't just listen to the words. They see every little nuance and facial expression and mannerism and tone and inflection. So I really wanted to do that. I wanted to just respond to everything that Harrison was giving me and give back that listening and response emotionally, the emotions that he elicited in me and like dogs do. So that was our relationship on the film. It was really fun. We got to grow really close that way because it's kind of like dogs look into your soul, you know, and you kind of allow dogs to look into your soul more than you do people oftentimes. So it was like big brother moments, you know, where it was like, I know you now, you know, and it's like, you know, we got to know each other on a good level, on a cool,
That's a really sweet story. That's a really sweet story, Terry. I'm gonna pause you for 1 second. Gethard, great job on the photos. Patrick,
Thanks.
what the fuck are you doing? Gethard just sent 3 good photos.
Yeah.
Terry was telling these stories. How good would it have been to have that photo while Terry was telling the story?
I know.
I was trying to sort of find some images that even tracked the.
Nice. I'm impressed you even found any. I mean,
I found 3. I actually found 3.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that was a fun moment. I remember that. Okay, so this is the scene where he's chasing me around. This was actually a lot longer than what was ended up in the movie. In this scene, when we shot it, I actually took off back behind this cabin, went way past the hill. He chased me completely around the cabin, and it was this really fun sort of like back and forth chase sequence. And then we finally ended up where we look out over the horizon, and after he yanks the hat out of my mouth, and when he did yank the hat out of my mouth, he nearly pulled the teeth out of my face on the first take because I was holding on to it so tight.
Oh my god!
But then the second take, I definitely was ready for it, but it nearly pulled my teeth out on the first take.
Terry, was there any discussion about the fact that obviously Harrison has a screen history as Han Solo, whose best friend is a Wookiee, big, hairy, loyal, friendly, and they have their own way of communicating.
Yeah.
Han Solo also, he has a son who he then feels as though he is lost to the dark side of the Force. So he has this painful history that he's reckoning with near the end of his journey. And that tracks very much with, you know, he has, going into Call of the Wild, he has all these touchstones. Did it ever come up? Like, was there ever a moment where Harrison said, we need to make this different than Han and Chewie? We need to make sure. Did he ever say, don't play this like a Wookiee, play it like a doggy?
No, but I wish he did. That would have been cool. I would have dug that.
We know someone who
he did tell me some amazing.
Yeah.
He told me some amazing stories about you, and he told me some amazing stories about Star Wars in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. He's full of stories, and good ones about you. So
that's good.
Kudos to you, George.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good work on setting up his career. He did pretty well with it.
I have to say, you know, watching because you were treated well on the movie, right?
Oh yeah, I got lots of treats and pets, and
I do feel like the digital technology is allowing us to make certain kinds of charming animal movies. You know, there's a whole history of movies that people have enjoyed, and then later on they find out that, you know, and people have tried to be better about this over the years, but you'll find out, the dogs weren't treated well or the animals weren't, you know, that it was a hardship. And now we can make a movie where we can get a dog to do all kinds of things that would be very difficult to get a real dog to do in a movie.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah. I mean,
facts.
Yeah. it's always nice to have a real dog. I gotta say, it's really nice to have real animals on a set. But when you have to treat them in ways that is not,
Well, I look at Buck, and it reminds me of the fact that, I mean, we just were talking this morning with the original puppeteer who performed Cy Snoodles in Return of the Jedi, and the reason that he had that gig was because a man broke his arm trying to play Cy Snoodles, and now Cy Snoodles is completely digital. If you go watch Return of the Jedi, no one was hurt making that version of Cy Snoodles.
Yeah.
And I feel like the trajectory cinematically, the lineage of digital special edition Cy Snoodles to digital Buck with you doing mocap performances, it's all about making it. The quality is great, but also the safety is great.
Yeah,
the control you have over it.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure. I'm a total advocate for animals. I have we have a foundation called the Primate Global Impact Fund. We're helping primates around the world because they're getting treated, horrifically around the world. They're getting eaten and they're going to be gone in 20 years. So, I'm a huge advocate for animal, kindness and keeping them safe and treating them well. So yes, in that regard, yes. But I have met a lot of trainers on set that treat their animals incredibly well. So it's a give and take. But I was happy to be able to play this. I mean, they wanted me to. They were thinking about having a live dog, and that would have probably worked out too, but it would have taken a lot longer. It would have been more difficult. But I'm happy they asked me to do it, and that I got the experience to work with Harrison and
now George.
Like at the end of the movie, not to spoil too much of it, but your Buck ends up romantically involved with a wolf.
Yes.
That's harder to do with a real wolf. You can't do those kind of intimate, tender, romantic scenes.
Yeah.
Just harder to do. Not that you can't do them, but it certainly made a difference.
I got to actually play with a real wolf on set, and it was really cool. And the wolf really liked me. So I thought, you know what? This is good. This is a good sign. I'm playing the character well because the wolf was all up on my grill.
Now, Terry, it's impressive that you played a dog so well, because up until this point, you have been known for being one of, if not the best ape performers in the world. You played Rocket in the Planet of the Apes trilogy. You played Kong in Kong Skull Island. And my favorite performance of yours, you were in the movie The Square.
Oh, wow. How'd you do that? That's pretty cool. You just pulled me out of your gut.
Special effects.
That's awesome, dude.
You played a man who plays monkeys, and it's this scene where, as like a performance art piece, you are brought into this fancy gala, and it's this amazing sequence. It's like this pressure cooker of everyone sort of laughing uncomfortably as you're there with these arm extensions and your chest puffing and puffing and acting like an ape in this situation. Everyone's expecting for you to back down at some point, and then just keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. And the reality doesn't break. How was that film?
That was an amazing experience. Ruben called me up and said, "Hey, I want you to be in my next film. I want you to be in this gala and scare the crap out of a bunch of donors, wealthy donors." And I said, "Well, great, yeah, you did this, you did this movie, blah blah blah." And you say, yeah. And I'm like, okay, wow, okay, well, and I just love his conversation that we had. He showed me a clip of this kid, and I can't remember the name of the film, but it was this kid comes into this quiet room, and there's this little concert going on, and this kid is just like clack 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 clack, walking down the hallway and just disrupting this beautiful concert. And it didn't stop, and it was like, he said, "I want something like this," Yeah. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so he said, let's rehearse. You know, we got one day to rehearse. Let's go in the room and rehearse. And it was an empty room with the tables, but no tablecloths and no people. It was that banquet hall that you see in the film. And I got in that room and I was like, you know, I just have to play off of the room. I can't really, let's not rehearse it. Let's just trust that the room is going to give me what I need to just scare them, because I'll be able to see where I need to go, you know. And
that's the thing. Watching the scene is you go, there's no way this could have been rehearsed. There's no way. It's so organic. The way the tension builds, but it's such a long scene. It's such a prolonged, like it becomes excruciating, just waiting for like, what's going to give? Is this guy going to break character, or are the people going to run out of this room screaming?
Yeah.
You know?
I wanted to prolong the moments of suspension in between the moments of action so that you can just stretch it, you know. How long are we going to have to hold our breath before the next thing happens? Because once the thing happens, it's like, okay. And then the next moment starts to build. And I wanted to prolong it more and more and more so that it felt excruciating, you know, to where it was uncomfortable in its cadence and its timing, and it had a disruptive sort of unpredictability, you know. I wanted to kind of create that sort of tension. And the way they shot it, the way Ruben likes to shoot things, he doesn't like to cut in and telegraph the story. So it gave me the freedom to just kind of be big and bold with my moments and not think about the close-ups or the tight shots or the angles of the film, of the camera. I got to just kind of play the room, and it was a freedom that he likes to give his actors that I think is one of his sort of signature blessings, you know, when he's directing actors. It's really, he knows how to find the moments in the grand sort of scene. And trust that the audience is smart enough to get it without pushing in.
Now, Terry, I want to go back in time a little bit. Is that okay?
Sure.
I want to go to June 25th. I want to go to June 25th, 1993, Terry.
1993. Whoa, we're going back to like, where are we going?
We're going back to a time in your life, Terry.
We're going back to a little town called Burbank, California.
Okay.
Where little Terry Notary shows up as a circus performer on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Oh my God.
Tell us about that. Was that your first time on TV? Was that what was the circumstances around this?
It pretty much was. I mean, it was like we were doing a show. I was in Cirque. I was in Cirque du Soleil. We did a teeterboard act for Jay. And we did we did our act. We did our full act. We had just rehearsed. We just got back from 9 months in Montreal rehearsing Mystère, the original cast, and the show. And we were just about to launch the show in Vegas. And I think we did, and we were just up and running, and it was our kind of big promotional thing. And went to Los Angeles and did our teeterboard act in this tiny little stage. I mean, I thought this. Seeing it on TV, I thought it was even much bigger, but it was a tiny stage, and we just had enough room to where we weren't hitting the lights. And I did my double layout back on teeterboard and nailed it. So I was really happy, and got to shake Jay Leno's hand, which was kind of a thrill.
That's fun. I just wanted to go back because I felt like a lot of people.
Way back.
It's way back. A lot of people in the chat want to know about your shelves behind you. I'm assuming these are characters that you have worked on over the years.
Yeah.
They
are characters that I've worked on. I started collecting maquettes from films that I worked on. And it's just kind of there around my office, and it's just kind of a thing I do. You know, when I get to work with a character and or play a character, I get to get the little 12-inch maquette, and that's kind of like my trophy that I get to put up there and go, you know.
There you
Was
go.
that one
Did that. I'm
Tintin?
going to shelve it. It's kind of like a nice way for me to say I'm done. It's
Sure.
it's kind of saying goodbye in a lot of ways because
Yeah.
it's so intense in your life and you live it and you just it becomes you and then you kind of let it go and then it's like it becomes this thing.
Yeah.
And it becomes something that's not that I can see and I go, okay, I did that. But it's not a trophy like look what I did, but it's like it's a goodbye kind of finalized.
Yeah.
I can put that to rest now and I can move on to something else.
Yeah.
I have the same question Gethard just tried to ask. Is that Thompson and Thompson from the Tintin movie on your shelf?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tintin himself?
Yeah. Likes, yeah.
That's from when you worked with my buddy Steve on Tintin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always thought I would play a good adult Tintin.
You got the hair.
You'd be great, dude.
Thanks so much.
You got to get the negative space going. You know, a lot of negative space in between the, you know.
Yeah.
It's all about expression and, you know, big, beautiful, like,
there you go.
Moments of intention.
Yeah. Which, what have been the things through your career that have been the hardest to actually actualize?
You know, the most challenging, but the most rewarding has been probably the Apes film, Apes films, which have really sort of set up the foundation of the work that I've like teach is because it kind of working with actual chimpanzees taught me so much about presence and so much about myself. I had this little 4-year-old chimpanzee jump into my arms and I was working with him and he looked in my eyes and he basically looked into my soul when he looked at me and I was like this and then I got so scared. It was so overwhelming the purity and the presence of this ape was so like there. It was like he just gave me his soul and he looked into my soul and we locked for a second and then I pulled away and I was like, holy mama. And then so he lost me and he looked into my eyes and he kept looking in my eyes like where are you? Where are you? Where did you go? And he kept looking and he kept looking. And then I was like, I'm here. I'm here. I was telling him I was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I need to figure out what that is. Because he has something that I have, but he has it. And I want that. Because that's what performing is. And it's about being vulnerable and open and wide and connected and but having this power behind it that's knowing. It's like wide connected 3-dimensionality that where you draw back and you have this knowingness and there's no doubts and checks and disruptions and stop signs of the mental noise that we subject ourselves to, which is basically the plight of humanity, if you ask me. And so my mission since Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes films has been to figure out what that is. And it's been the foundation of the work that I do with actors is deconditioning the social conditioning, finding out how to find the balance of the mind and body and soften and widen into this state of optimal performance where your mind is a guide rather than a boss. You're able to just be wide open, soft, connected, rooted, grounded, and still understand that you're in the zone, but allow it to continue to happen and allow yourself to get there on a fast, quick level to where you know what that state is and you know how to get there so you can function in an optimal state when you need to. And you can still go back to 2-dimensionality when you need to be in a two-dimensional situation where you can focus and become front body and tell people, oh, the directions are, over there, and if you need to. Or you can continue to just keep in your mid body, stay wide, open, focused, dropped in, bam, and continue to function in a state of awakeness.
Yeah.
And so that's what good actors have. They have the ability to function at their optimal state of performance by knowing how to deal with the emotional body, the energetic body. You're made of energy. You're 99.99% energy in your empty space, the rest of it. So you're just an energetic ball of emotional that's controlled by the mind and the wisdom of the body, right? So if you allow the mind to go and marry itself to the body, then you can have this rooted sense where you can focus and then bring it up when you need it, or draw it down, or draw it back, or draw it forward, and so you have control of I call it the control of the vehicle of expression, right? Your body, your vehicle of expression, your musician. It's like an instrument. You need to know how to jam on your guitar and riff, not 3 chords, but all of them, and know how to play all the chords. And so when actors find out how to do that, it's like the work goes into a next level. And it carries on into life. So that's been my inspiration for the work that I do. Otherwise, it's about making money for wealthy people, and I'm not into that.
Sure.
So that's my higher purpose of working in the film industry, is working with actors. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because we're 12 hours into this stream, but that just got me very emotional, and I feel like Watto as well. I was watching Watto that whole time.
Yeah.
That was wow. I do want to say, Gethard, I know you need to leave in a second.
Yes, that was a beautiful, beautiful explanation of art you shared with us, Terry. Now Gethard has to take something out of a box.
Hang on 1 second, Terry. Gethard needs to give a clue. It was part of
a clue or an item?
Oh, yes, to reveal an item.
Oh yeah, you have to reveal an item. I'm sorry.
Well, I feel really stupid now because I'm a very big fan of Terry's, legitimately, and my wife, who is a physical theater artist in her own right, has explained to me how difficult everything. There is a reason you are a kingpin in this field, because my wife constantly marvels at what you do. So I get this insider explanation, and I felt like that was a beautiful breakdown where if someone wrote that down, that actually would be like an essay studied far and wide. And now I got to reveal a thing in a dumb box. It doesn't feel great. But I'm about to pull out. Well, I run this game, another show on this network where people guess all the items in this box. They win money. Right now, the jackpot's up to $1,900.
Oh, nice.
But the things in the box, like you just talked about the nature of art, and I got to tell people, like, one of the things they've known for a while, there's a food wrapper in there. And they keep, I guess, in different fast food places. And I'm so embarrassed because you just told us about, and like the other thing is like what you do is an art form so specific to you. I feel like there's only a handful of people in the whole world who can do it at all, let alone at your level. And I think everybody on this stream has known me long enough to know that I'm a fan of artists in general. And when I get a chance to be around high level artists, I'll always take that seriously. So it's really embarrassing that I got to tell everybody it's not a fast food wrapper. It's a
That's great.
Smucker's Uncrustables.
It's an Uncrustable.
That was awesome, dude.
Smucker's Uncrustables.
Yeah.
There we go.
That was good.
And Gethard, just to clarify one more time, it's grape. Grape is the jelly flavor there?
It's peanut butter and grape jelly. Smucker's Uncrustables.
Too good.
I keep them around because I claim that Cal likes them, but I really like them.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Also, Planet of the Apes is like the best franchise.
The best.
Yeah.
Why
that was
Cookie
the best.
Rocket?
That was the most fun. I mean, I just spent the day with Andy today. We just went on a bike ride for the whole day down Santa Monica, Venice. Went down to Marina Del Rey. It's awesome.
Well, when
I'm
you-
actually directing a film that he's starring in
Oh,
this
that's
year,
amazing.
so I'm really excited about it. I can't wait. Maybe we can get on the show again, and I'll tell you all about it.
Hey,
I
come
mean,
on,
when
Matt.
when you and Andy Serkis get together, though, that is legitimately like, I'm not saying this to be macabre, but I'm like, if there was some sort of accident, like in your entire field loses the two masters of it, like you two almost shouldn't hang out together.
yeah, there
Like
should
they always,
be like that senator that member of the cabinet who has
Yes.
to stay back during the State of the Union address.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to keep you separate.
Because let's think about it, you guys both worked on the Hobbit movies, and you both played Kong, and you both played apes. Is there any? What else have you guys worked on together? Are those the?
We
the
worked
big
on
three?
Tintin. We worked on Mowgli. I second year directed for him on that, and then we're gonna work on this one. So
Cool.
we're
It's
really
exciting.
excited. We're really excited. I can't wait to tell the world about this movie.
Yeah,
It's going to be his signature role.
that's so
Where
cool.
we talked about it for 9 hours on a bike ride. It was like we couldn't stop talking about it. We're super excited. So
Yeah. Did he give you advice when you were coming in to play Kong? Did you guys talk about that at all?
I called him as soon as I got the role, and I said, dude, they asked me to play Kong, and I feel like he's like, what? They asked you to play Kong? That's amazing, dude. Congrats. That's amazing. You're gonna kill it. And I said, well, it's your role, bro. You own it. You know, it's your character. And he said, no, this one is yours. So he gave me the, like, I felt okay about it.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like dating someone's ex-girlfriend, you know, it's kind of
Sure.
like, it's weird a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, stepping into that role and like, so, but it was a different character, you know, and so
Yeah.
we jam, so we don't, we're cool.
No, that's exciting.
Yeah.
What working on the Grinch? I want to talk about that, Gethard. And if you need to go, Gethard, feel free to hop out. But
I do need to split. Does anybody need anything before I go?
No,
I'll take a water. I've been here for 12 hours. If you got a water,
Yeah, if you're heading out, if you could grab some more Uncrustables, those are just good to have around.
Yeah,
They're a good
That
quick
sounds good.
snack during production.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I have a bunch of those around, and then Patrick, I have your address, so I'll DoorDash you a water.
thank you so much. I really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Good night, everybody. Terry, it's such a
Cheers.
pleasure, honestly, legit.
Yeah.
You too, bro. Cheers, man.
All right,
Nice to
And
meet you.
good job tonight, Geth. You pulled it together. I'm
you
proud
did
of
a
you.
really good job.
Thanks so
delivery,
much,
bro.
guys. Thanks so much, guys.
Fine. So the Grinch. How was working on the Grinch? What was your big task?
That was my first film ever. I got asked to come out on the Grinch. I was living in New York with my wife at the time. We had been there for 3 years. She was in the Rockettes. I was doing circus stuff, and we were like, you know what? Let's figure out a way to get back to LA, because I'm ready to go back to California. You know.
Yeah.
So, literally, you know, we went and just went on walks every day and said, let's figure out a way. Let's just put it out there. And within 2 weeks, I had a call come in from Ron Howard's people that they were looking for someone that was from Cirque, and they wanted them to come in and help choreograph and figure out the whole world of Who's. And so 5 of us from my friends, the retired Cirque people, come in, and we just all jammed together for a month and a half. And then I started teaching the extras as they came in, not knowing any protocol about film. Well, I'm from the circus world. Everybody helps everybody. We're like a family, you know, to this structured sort of, you know, you do this, you do that, you do this. But I didn't know that. And the extras started coming in. They were circus people, and they were all kind of doing their own thing, you know, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I was like, hey guys, why don't we all come up with a common denominator? Why don't we do this? Let's like figure out, like, I've got an idea. Let's make it so that we're all coming from the same gene pool, and then we can go off and become your own character once we are from the same gene pool.
Mhm.
And Ron Howard was in the room at the time, and I was teaching, and he saw it, and he called me into his office, and everybody thought I was going to get fired, but I got hired to be the movement coach. And he said, I liked what you were doing. I really liked it. And I want you to teach all the actors. So I'm going to give you a sound stage. You tell me what you want. And I put a list together, and it was a huge wish list, thinking I would get maybe a few things of it.
Mhm.
All of it showed up within a week, and I got a 10,000 square foot sound stage, and Who School began with all the actors. And so it was like, wow, I got to work on a movie. And then about a few months later, after the film wrapped, I got asked to do another film, and I was like, wow, I got they want me to do Ape School, like you did Who School. We heard about Who School.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, I can do it, and so I started studying with apes and started studying about apes. I read every book. I watched every video. I just poured myself in. I spent hours and hours and hours at the zoo just watching them, and then I got to play with these two chimpanzees, Jacob and Jonah, for a few months, and that was really what changed my life and set me on this path to figure out what it was that made us human. Because they taught me more about what it meant to be human, rather than I was watching them trying to figure out the nuance of what they were doing and seeing how they were moving so I could replicate that. But then I was replicating in it and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I was like, what is it? Why is it not working? And then I had that moment with Jacob, and I was just like, I need to go inside. I need to figure out what's happening here before I can become something. I need to work from the inside out, not the outside in. And so it really set up my whole foundational work of deconditioning, rooting, grounding, widening, opening, soft focus, three-dimensionality, just softening the noise, quieting, integrity, thick space, front body, mid body, back body. I mean, just it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And once I understood that and broke it down into a technique that I understood in myself, then I could teach it. And that foundation was something that I started with every actor that I've worked since on any character that they've worked on. And it basically exposes all the habits, all the tendencies, all the noise, all of the static, and all of the broken lines of energy in yourself. It exposes the blueprint. It like shines light on the blueprint and goes, oh, we have a knot here. Oh, we've got something here. Oh, this needs to be worked on. Boom, boom, boom. And it's different for every single person. And it takes time to just uncomb those tangles so that you can go, oh, now I can turn it into anything I want. I can twist it, knot it, do this, do that. I can be a back body character. I can be front driven. I can be knee driven. I can have a taking energy. I can have a giving energy. I can have a neutral. Whatever it is, you can apply all those things because you become aware. When you become aware of yourself, you become aware of everyone else around you, and you start witnessing things in people because you wake up basically and start to see for real. You go out of this like this mode into ooh, I can, okay, whoa, I can see, I can hear, I can feel, into witnessing and becoming a sort of a disciple of human behavior and watch and go, I'm going to use that. Look how they place their foot. You know, it's tentative, or it's like a seagull walking. It's like boom, boom. There's no foundation, or they're broken at the hips, or they're chest driven, or they're gut driven, or they're ball driven. Whatever it is, it's different for every single person, and that is a trigger that happened in them that became something that they held on to subconsciously, and it started to shape who they were in their persona, and it sort of becomes the driving force of who they are. So if you can do that as an actor and figure out what that is in your own character, then you can start to build a unique character that is different than you, rather than playing the same character over and over in a different costume because you just bring your shit there.
Yeah.
Harry, I have to say one of my, if not my single greatest goal in life now, is to work with you, because it sounds like you fundamentally make people better in every sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an ability to see things in people and help them find it in themselves. When I tell you something, you already know it. The thing is, I'm just reminding you of what you already know.
Mm.
I'm not teaching you anything. I'm going to remind you what you already know, but you're waking up to what you already know because we already have it. You're born with it. You're born with it. When you're 5 years old, you're sitting there at the beach. You got beautiful posture. You're wide. You're connected. There's nothing else that exists. You're in the moment. You're living in the moment completely. And the older we get, the more we start to feel as though we need to be doing something. The mind comes in. It starts to tell you that you need to be doing something. It needs to story. The ego becomes stronger and stronger. The identity, the sense of self becomes something that starts to shape who you are, and that creates how you act because that's your persona. And so it becomes your signature, and that, you know, can be a beautiful thing for some people when it's right, but it can really hold people back into being a 12-year-old for the rest of their life, or a 20-year-old for the rest of their life, or old at 20 years old. I mean, to find out about that when you're young is a gift. And that's what my goal, that's my gift. When people go like this, when they go, and they come out for the first time and they witness what it feels like to be here for the first time without any noise or problems, and they feel that sense of freedom. It's like you see them like a kid. You see the child in them. It's like witnessing them being a child. And it's like, there you go. And then pull back. What the hell? You know? And it's like, you had it. You're there. Now you need to allow those moments to continue to expand and more and more and more, and allow them to happen. And that's my gift for myself, is witnessing that in other people. And actors, especially when they are allowing themselves to be in that zone, when they're performing and allowing it to continue to happen while knowing they need to pick up a pen and a phone and do a thing and hit a mark and say a line and hit a thing and listen to this and answer the door. Boom. All without thinking about it, without letting the mind get in the way. That is it's like gold. It's like a jackpot. Because it's giving them a sense, it's like giving someone, it's like letting someone out of jail. Mm-hmm. Is what it's like.
This is going to sound, not as important when I ask it, but like, is it harder for you to teach people to act like a character that already exists in the real world? Or if you're teaching someone, to be the Hulk or, whatever like that, when you're working through that with someone else, is it easier to be like, this thing doesn't exist so you can make it more your own? Or are you still using that look into yourself, look at the things that you know about yourself deep down? Does it still apply?
When you're working on anything, you have to figure out who you are first. Mm-hmm. You have to know what you're working with, mm-hmm. the vehicle, the instrument, right?
Yeah.
And so the clarifying of the instrument, the tuning of the instrument is the same. It has to happen before you do anything. And that's sitting in a chair, breathing, coming to a stand, finding your first position neutral, and learning how to walk again, coming to a stop, learning how to walk, learning how how to pick up a glass without thinking about it, without interference of. See, if I'm 3-dimensional, and I go and I have to pick up a glass, in real life, I'm going to pick up the glass in a 3-dimensional state. But if I'm told that I have to pick up that glass, therein lies the challenge of allowing the moment to unfold as real life, 3-dimensionality.
Helen Mirren says the hardest thing to do as an actor is walk into a room and sit in a chair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's, I have them do that, because if you have them sit in a chair without thinking, see, your intention has to be on something real. If your intention is on sitting in a chair, you never have unless your intention is to sit in the chair, where your intention lies is where your energy goes, right? So usually our intention is somewhere behind us. If you're going to sit in a chair, you're thinking about something that you're going to be looking at. So if you put your intention on that, and then you sit in the chair, well, then you're going to look with knowing. You're going to look with knowing, because you're already got that intention in the mind's eye. But if I look with what I call washing through the space, well, I'm looking, but I'm thinking about where I'm going to look, but I've got check marks along the way, right? But if I look with knowing, it's that. So intention is everything with acting. So if you don't have an intention, it's like being on a snowboard and not having an edge. You're kind of you're dangerously skating so that you're going to catch an edge and fall on your face, basically, right? So intention is how thoughts go when we're functioning in a daily life. As I'm talking to you, my intentions are, I'm not thinking 5 seconds ahead of me. I'm speaking, and then as I speak, the intention flows into another one. And so it kind of has this sort of what I call recycling of the energy, right? So as I speak, I'll talk about something, and then I'll take that energy and I'll recycle it back in, and I'll continue with that same energy, and I'll push it out again, and then I'll bring it back and I'll continue with it. But what happens with actors is they'll have ideas that they have certain things to accomplish. So I will pick up that thing. Now I've done that. Now I have to start over. Now I start from scratch again. Now I have to figure out a new intention from scratch so that I become disjointed in my process, my energetic process of intention. And it's an interesting, you have to feel it in order to really understand it. But the recycling of intention and energy that is connected to that is a huge thing for actors. And it's allowing the softness to be there, the softness, rather than the mind going, okay, now what? You know, it goes from point to point to wide and flowing. And yeah, I don't know how we got there, but
I like that we got there. I don't care how we got there. The what matters is that we got there.
Terry, do you have dogs there we would be able to see?
I don't have my dogs are not. They're in the house, and I'm in the back. I'm out in the yard, way out in my office.
You're in the yard, and the dogs are in the house.
Yes, I'm in the doghouse.
You got them switched.
How deep into character did you go on that movie?
I wish I had a dog treat right now.
Well,
That would have been awesome. Crack.
Let's talk about this guy really quick. I want to bring up a picture. People might get spooked, but I'm gonna bring up the picture anyways. Let's talk about this guy.
Oh yeah,
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Real
that
fun.
That was a funny show because I got called onto that show, to teach all of the creatures like in a hurry. They were like, get them out here now. We got to get them on set immediately. We're shooting in a day, you know?
Yeah.
And so basically I had one afternoon to get everybody like, I was like, what's your character? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Come here, Pinhead. Boom. Come here.
And this is a lot of people. We should be clear. There's a lot of people.
Like 40.
Yeah.
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 And it was one of those like, okay, here we go. And then they were shooting in different rooms and saying, and I was like, okay, what are you gonna do? You're gonna come up through the desk? I was like running around like a crazy man, and so we had no rehearsal time. Basically, we just hammered it out quick. And then Josh said, Terry, get in a suit, dude. We need you as a clown right now. And I'm like, okay, cool. What are we doing? We're going to do like the It clown kind of thing,
Yeah.
And so basically I was coaching and I ran over to the costume trailer and, in the makeup, and they threw me in a suit, threw on the makeup, got the hair going. Josh said, okay, change this makeup a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Went back to the makeup trailer, came back. He said, okay, let's shoot it. They put some squibs on me and we shot that. It was like that. That's what happened. It's like,
yeah,
it was that fast.
But you were a movement coach in general on that movie, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's what that counted for. He's teaching everyone what to do. That is, yeah.
Right. Yes. Because you've worn so many different hats. I mean, you've had all these sort of different titles you've had on different shows that they're all kind of parallel. But sometimes you're a choreographer, sometimes you're a movement coach, you've worked as a stunt performer, you've worked as a stunt coordinator, you've worked as a proper actor for things.
Yeah.
Where are the commonalities for you and where are the differences for you in terms of how you approach a production and how you figure out how to serve that role best?
I've never tried to be an actor. I've never like said I want to be an actor and do it. I want to go there. I want to pursue it. I don't pursue it. I don't audition. I kind of just wing everything, and I just kind of just go from show to show. Just dive in, and I usually get asked to play something in a show, as they kind of get, they're like, we want you to play this character and we want you to coach people. And so that's kind of how it's happened. The similarities are, I love all of it. I love working with people. I love helping them find their character. They have the aha moments, and it's just like, that's it. Now allow that. Trust that when the camera's going. That's the challenge, You can get it in the rehearsal, but then trusting to just soften everything and just allow it to just happen without, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to go, ooh, I'm going to go, I'm going to make sure I'm going to do that when I see him, don't do that. You play, you create, you do everything, you make every facial expression, you do every sound, you do every movement, you create, you go past where you need to go, and then you hone it in and you find the language and the sort of gold nuggets that you have that you found in the mistakes, and you just and you allow those to just go poof, and you just forget about them and you just let them be there, and then just listen and just let it play out like that. That's kind of the trust factor that you have to have as an actor. And it's kind of like one of those things, well, the more experience you have, the more trust you have in yourself to just allow those moments to really kind of go, and the early, the more novice you are as an actor, the more you kind of want to have things planned so you can like know what you're going to do. But my advice to new actors, to new people just breaking into expressing themselves is make mistakes. Make as many mistakes as you can as you're rehearsing, so that you know what the range is and that you're not afraid, because there's so many good things in mistakes. They're the little mistakes that you make. You got to allow yourself to have them. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to do it right. Don't try to make it right, because when you do that, you're two-dimensional. You're thinking about it, and you're trying to play the role from a director's perspective in the back of your mind, and you're pushing this like performance into its, you're stressing this thing that's not being organic and free and allowing itself to flow. And so make the mistakes, play in the rehearsal, rehearse like crazy, and just start from an instinct. Just if you have something, just go, wow, boom, boom. Just start moving and go, whoa, what if we did that? What if we did that? No, what if we did that? Ooh, huh. There's something. Oh, okay. And then you just kind of go with what feels right. And then you can start to find this sort of language that you can start speaking that feels like something other than yourself. And then the real shit comes out, the real organics of yourself, and the subconscious of yourself comes out. And then next thing you know, you're finding out something about yourself that you're playing. And it's like, wow, I just discovered something about myself that came out in this character. Yeah. Rather than trying to put on something that you think that you think someone else wants to see. When you play something else that you think someone else wants to see, it's usually going to not be very good.
Terry, can I ask about the movie Me and You and Everyone We Know?
Sure. Yeah. I just stunt coordinated that film for
because I like that movie, but I'm trying to remember. Some movies I look at a credit that you have and I think, oh, you must have done this, you must have done that. That's not one that I don't think of that movie and think of, well, so many stunts.
Yeah. Well, it was mostly about this stunt that happened with this fish, and this fish had to fly from my car. I offered up my car for the budget was so low that they didn't have a car, so I gave my car up, and the fish, the guy puts a fish bowl on top of a car and in a bag. Actually, puts a bag on top of his car and forgets about it.
Right.
And the bag flies off they hit the brakes, and the bag goes flying and lands on the back sort of trunk of another car, and they're watching it as this fish is sort of about to fall off and and be killed. And so I had a skylight in my Range Rover. I had this old Range Rover, and I built this launching ramp. It was a rubber band powered sort of launching catapult that catapulted this fake fish in a bag onto the back of the trunk of the other car, and it worked great. I got the distance perfect, and we were towing one of the cars. My car was being towed and the other one was being pulled, and that was it on that film. Wow. And then I did a stunt down the stairs. I fell down the stairs for her.
It's amazing.
There was a stunt. I forget what it was, but
it's amazing, Terry, because about 12 hours ago, we were talking with the guy who operated Admiral Akbar, and here we are 12 hours later, and we're talking about another fish.
Full circle.
Comes around.
Oh boy, Terry, what is left that you still want to do that you have not been able to?
What's the what?
What is left? What type of character is left? What animal is left? What have you not been able to do that you wanna?
I also think this question can get more abstract. What type of work would you like to do? What would you like to do differently in terms of process? What are like? I mean, I feel like you think so dimensionally that I'm like, what are the walls that you still want to break down in any regard?
I want to bring to the public what I've had to share with actors, And so I've developed this year during COVID, I was supposed to work on 3 films, and they all went away. And so I had 6 months to just kind of figure out what I was going to do. I got my film going, and I also developed a workout program called QuadraFit. And the whole fitness program is it takes place on the arm extensions. You use the arm extensions. It's all cross lateral movement, which is really good for balancing the left and right hemisphere. And it's all about the work of undoing effort, softening, finding integrity, and finding this sort of presence where you're free from thought and free from the pain of the mind. There's a lot of pain that goes on with repetitive thoughts. There's a lot of whenever you find yourself in a state of stress, you're usually in a story about yourself that your mind has kind of pulled you along in. It's usually a story that doesn't make any sense really to your life. It doesn't mean anything except your mind wants you to think it's important. It's something that starts off with a simple idea and will evolve into something that can become very stressful and painful and dramatic. And then you kind of wake up and you're like, oh, I'm in a comfortable room. Why did I just disappear for 20 minutes? What happened? And so becoming aware of that, you can kind of have freedom from the torment of humanity, which is our mind. And the work that I've done with actors has kind of translated so much into their lives that I've been working with groups of 15 people, and I haven't stopped working with them. I get up at 5 a.m. I work with the groups. We meet on the beach and we work on these exercises, and we go for long treks on the arm extensions. And it's been transforming their lives. So I'm going to launch this new exercise program called QuadraFit this year.
That's really cool.
And so that's the next thing. I want to kind of share that with the world and bring what I've learned from working with people to everyone.
Is there any part of your workout routine that includes sitting on a couch for 12 hours?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, we've been over 12 hours now doing this show,
How are you
sitting
guys
on the
still
couch.
functioning? How are you?
I don't know, but
Where's
Terry, help
how's
us.
the fuel?
Help us. Help
Are
us,
you-
Terry. We
how are
have
you
a
doing it?
couple, we have at least another hour to go. Terry, help us. What can we do right now? We'll get up on our feet.
Okay,
What
let me
should
give
we
you a
do
simple
to
thing.
center our bodies and
Okay.
center our minds?
Just doing cross lateral exercise, like
Here we go.
going like this.
We're getting up.
Cross. You take your arm, boom, or you take your right hand and bring your left knee to your right hand. Boom, boom, boom. Just the simple cross lateral exercise. Doing this, boom, 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 and then do this. Okay, here's a good exercise.
Oh, well, George does this all the
Itsy bitsy
time.
Spider.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want you to go down to the middle finger, thumb to middle finger, thumb to ring finger, little finger, ring finger, middle finger,
This one takes some
pointer
practice.
finger. So what you're doing is you're balancing your left and right hemisphere of your brain. So you're probably thinking about it right now. You're using your mind, which is okay to start. But then the more you get better at it, I want you to start sitting back into your mid body, relaxing the tension. Notice where the tension lies when you actually have to think about something, because those tensions are just blocks. And so if you work, you can start here, frame up, and then boom.
Now I like it. Directing.
Boom, pointer finger, middle finger, middle finger. Just do middle finger a few times. And then your ring finger.
Oh, no.
And then little finger. And you see how your brain has to work?
Yeah.
See how much you have to work? Try to get it so that you can just relax. Good. And do you see the breaks in the movement?
Yeah.
You don't want to have any. It's discoordination, is what that is, right? That's discoordination. You want to flow. You want it to flow like you're recycling energy, like you're weaving taffy.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
fascinating. It starts out being so complicated and it becomes more and more natural the more
That's
you do
right.
it. But
because
B,
you're
I
going,
I
and your synapses are connecting.
I do genuinely feel such a difference, like a shifting of alignment in doing that. You know, you're talking and I'm like, look, I'll buy anything Terry's selling at this point. I'm all in. But we start doing this and I go, okay, is he giving us some baby exercise? What's this
Snake oil.
actually going to do? Right. And then we go through it and it's like, oh,
Well,
I'm
if you're
feeling
sitting on a
shift.
couch,
I'm
this is a
feeling a
great
release.
one.
Yes.
This is a great
Yes.
one because you can
Yes.
just go through, and you usually
Yes.
start off here, right? You're here in your
Yeah.
front body, and you're
Yeah.
thinking with your mind, and then you
To
can
unlock.
soften your face,
Yes.
and then you can start to drop down, and you can soften your shoulders, and
Get
then you
wide.
can start to transcend past yourself.
Yeah.
So you can just transcend past the room,
Yeah.
and then you can draw the integrity back to your mid body, and you can just work from there. And you'll find that your posture is better.
Much.
You got that nice soft curve in your lower spine,
Absolutely.
and your energy goes up, and you're actually making yourself smarter.
I mean, that's what we need the most. That's
I wasn't going to say
desperately.
anything.
Terry, thank you for coming on. I don't want to keep
Terry.
you on. This is the
Cheers.
best.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you'll come
much.
back. Come back anytime. We love you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and hope you
Have a
guys
wonderful night,
make
Terry.
lots of money today.
That's
I
the
think
hope.
so.
Thank you.
Genuinely life-changing stuff. Thank you so much, Terry.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
All
you
right, have a
guys.
good one. Bye, buddy.
All right, now
Can I
everybody
just
everybody who likes that
Yeah.
should give $5 to help
should
people.
give $5?
to-
Terry,
to put
Terry just
people-
gave us a lot for free.
Yeah. So like you want to think about the Wings of Hope, and they have these
Yeah.
airplanes, and they're going to help people who need help.
Yeah.
And $5 is good.
This
Can
good.
I just
Hang
can I
on,
just
Watto,
say
let's say it. Hang on, Watto, let's say it. $5. This good.
This good.
$5 this good.
This
$5
$5
this good.
is good.
Can I
And-
just say
Yeah.
there was a point there where I went, I feel really silly still having the effect on where my body is a shirtless picture of Terry. But I also felt like we're so deep in this and he's
Yeah.
being so honest that it almost would be more jarring for me to turn it off. So I just changed the name.
Yes.
Now, right. But I just felt like if I'd done it in the middle of him talking, it would have been
Yeah.
like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I was so
Yeah.
deep in it.
Because it began as a tribute, and to pull it away at that point would feel
Right.
like somehow the tribute has been withdrawn.
Yes.
Right, and Terry's such a man who reads intent into every talking about actors intent. He would have gone, "What is the meaning of him turning it off at this point?" And I was like, I can't turn it off until he leaves. I'm just Terry Notary Watto until he leaves." And I mean, let's say this: he left. I'm still feeling like Terry Notary Watto. I might not show it, but he stayed in here.
Yeah.
Watto, I just remembered something. Can I do you mind if I show it on screen really quick?
I have no idea what it. Let me just replay that question. I just remembered something. Do you mind if I show it real quick? I had to choose heels.
We've just come so far today, is what I'm saying.
And yet,
I feel like fundamentally different from doing that hand thing,
Yeah.
right? And that's just like a little drop in the ocean. But I'm like, man, I was starting to, you know, I'm breaking down here. Started out the day as tired Watto, I became wired Watto. It's been a lot. That's like trying to chug through this, and now I'm in it. You know,
I get it.
you get it.
At least Pee Wee Herman was in a X-rated movie theater.
He's got a point.
He's got a great point.
He's got a great point.
He's got a
He got-
great point.
He's got the best point. Harrison Ford, he's got a great point.
He's got a great point.
He's got a great point.
My point.
My point. Get off my point.
Get off. Get off my point. Get off.
my
Get
point.
off of there.
Get off it.
Get off my point.
Get off my point. This is someone just pointed out in the chat to show how far we've gone today. Remember when George taught Julian Glover about QAnon? That was today. Famed actor Julian Glover did not know what QAnon was. George made an offhand
joke. He's got a book out called Q to Q, and I'm just telling you, he's gonna get some fruitcakes showing up who are gonna be like.
I'm gonna be honest. You started talking about that, and if people go back and watch the video, I get up and walk over and go, "What are you doing, George?"
Why would you say that?
I didn't say it out loud.
No, because he doesn't trust you.
Patrick, I was just like, what are we doing?
No, that's not. First of all, you just edited your story. It's not what are we doing. You got up, walked off the screen of the talk show, and said so no one can hear you, what are you doing, George?
It's true.
This is a talk show. The talk should happen on the show.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
And
that's a good point. Get off my point.
I like making it so that my hand.
You look like Dirty Harry. You look like Dirty Harry. Dirty Georgie.
Dirty Georgie.
Well, I like it when it's proportional so that your hand is just bigger than your head, you know?
Get off my point.
Oh, that's cool. When you go like this, it looks like the Jaws effect. You know? So like rat focus. Like you gotta.
It looks like we all bought. If you do it like this, it looks like we all bought those big novelty foam hands.
Yeah. Here's the thing, keep your elbow in the same spot.
Okay.
And just move your body closer.
It's hard to do.
I know.
I need Terry back. I need Terry back.
His book's called Q to Q.
George, I'm not criticizing you for doing it. Patrick is the one.
I'm just telling you, he's going to promote that book. He's going to get people showing up to the book signings.
I agree.
The second Q, and Q's going to talk to Q.
I agree.
Or someone's going to think that it's some Star Trek thing, and John Delancey is moderating. He's going to interview this secret government employee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, I wasn't thinking. It was early. I was in the mood yet, you know?
Oh, what were you thinking?
Oh, my God, Patrick. What are you thinking, Patrick?
Now, George Watto, we have to switch streams in a minute. Should we just do it now, do you think?
Do it now. Yeah, do it now.
Yeah, let's just do it now.
All right, we're going to switch streams. We will be back